Peace, what's happening? This is Stacy Patrice. Happy New Year and welcome to 2015. I've been awaiting an opportunity to come back to my YouTube channel and post some new videos about what it is that are on the hearts and minds of people I've been speaking with and be able to address something within my capacity to help address that. So for 2015, I got a lot of emails in 2014 from people telling me that they have been watching the Countdown to Clarity series that I had posted, I think, the prior year. They've been watching some of my yoga videos with music and different things of that nature. And I just said, you know what? I want to give the people something that relates to their everyday life this year. I want to give people everyday tools that they can use in order to superpower their lifestyle. So, for 2015, I have created a new hashtag. Well, actually, I've created a couple, but the main one that I'm going to be speaking of, the hashtag is called Strip for Love. And if you're following me on Facebook, you know about this hashtag already. You know about Strip for Love. And what is stripping for love? I'll get into that in just a second, but I just want to talk about how the transition between 2014 and 2015 led me up to this point, and how last year was fraught with a lot of disappointment, a lot of responsibility, a lot of helplessness, hopelessness, not in the sense that everybody was feeling that all year round, because by no means was I either, but just in the sense of if you had a global view or approach to looking at what was happening in the world and you're connected to it, you may have found a lot of spaces in 2014 for you to feel, what else is there? What can I do? How can I be a part of the solution? Am I able to be a part of the solution? Who's my tribe? Who do I roll with? How do we get things done? And so, what I've done for 2015 is just simply address that feeling by saying what I think it is that people feel is inaccessible to them, and giving people the permission to shine, giving people the permission to be in a space where they can be their whole selves, their whole being. And so, I have compiled a list of 3 things that you are free to do in 2015 as far as it goes for myself, Stacy Patrice, Goddess Light, and any of the workshops and events that I've created this year that I hope to see you at. So first off, the right to take up space. Let's just say this has been such a huge eyesore. The right to take up space really does just include knowing that you are seen, heard, valued, accepted, and that if you need the affirmation, that the affirmation is right there where you are, that your own sense of gratitude, your own skills, your own talents, the lifestyle that you've created around yourself, even if you're not fully satisfied with how it plays out, these are all ways in which you have created this sense of taking up space. You have thrusted something into the universe. You were thrusted into the universe. And now you are thrusting something of your own into the universe, whether that's your ideas, the safe space that you create for your life and your family and friends, whether that is, your contributions to your job or your business. So I like to say that taking up space is really just the knowing that you can be seen and heard and accepted and valued. And that if there's anywhere in your life that you see right now that you're taking up space and you don't feel like people are acknowledging the space that you're taking up, I want you to look at that area in your life, shine a light on it, and just see, what do you think is missing? Is there something you need to say? Is it something that's not being said by the other people in the space? Or is there a way to really transform this situation to work for your benefit so you can feel completely comfortable about who it is that you are and how it is that you express yourself and bring yourself to the table at every turn? The second thing that I saw a lot of in 2014 that I definitely want to stamp out in 2015 is that emotions matter. Let me say that again. Emotions matter. Okay, I'm saying this because I had a bevy of calls towards the end of 2015. I lost a dear friend, a couple of dear friends. I definitely had a lot of emotions wrapped up around how I was valuing myself or devaluing myself in relationships, and how I could be of better service to myself, to my son, to my family, to my clients, to my community, to a global ideal that we would all be happy contributing to. And what I realized is that a lot of people don't feel like their emotions matter. A lot of people have expressed to me that emotions are these things, these hindrances that get in the way of them really experiencing life. And I am here to say it's exactly the opposite. Disacknowledging your emotions, suppressing them, pushing them down are actually hindrances that allow you to not really fully express life. And I learned even with myself that the very things that you're afraid to say, or the very things that you feel bear the most impact on your life are the very things you need to take action on. You need to definitely confront those fears. You need to definitely confront those people. And you need to definitely find yourself confronting any of the things that you have ideas about and visions about with action. That's all. And so everyone has the permission, at least from me, to take an emotional dump this year. Please, by all means, use this as your enema and take a freaking dump. Get those emotions out, write them out, talk about them, rehearse them, read them, affirm them, put them in a gratitude jar, call a friend, say, I need you to hold a space for me. Call me, get a coach, get a couple of coaches. Shoot, last year I had 7 coaches. That's how much emotional crap I was holding on to. I had 7 freaking coaches. And you know what? It made me a better coach for the people that I coach. But it's also really freaking incredible to know that you set the bar on what you want your life to look like so high that you say, I need people to help me with this vision. There's nothing wrong with therapy. There's nothing wrong with coaching. What's wrong is not telling other people how it is that you heal. What could be perceived as wrong is making other people feel like your life is perfect all the time and not exposing. I've had that disease myself of not exposing myself and not showing people what it is that I go through, and that this knowledge just all of a sudden appeared out of nowhere. It was implanted in my brain during my mother's pregnancy. Not at all. So let people understand what you're feeling and share with them. If there are people that are not worthy of your story, you feel like they would somehow capitalize or degrade you for sharing your story, then at least share the heart of the emotion. At least express that for yourself, not for them. For yourself, express the heart of it is what it is that you're feeling, so that you can at least release that piece of it and get down to the core of it in your own personal life. And lastly, this year is my call to vulnerability. We must strip for love. If you are following me on Facebook, you already know that I have a hashtag strip for love. That hashtag is an active hashtag. That means we must start to look at the clothes that we're wearing, look how many layers we have on, and wonder what it is that we're trying to cover up. We have to look and make sure that we've left our riot gear at home, that everything we do is not about a fight, that sometimes there is love involved in what it is that we're doing. How is it that we can come to a place where we're accepting of ourselves if we're always hating everything that everyone else does and always finding fault in the other things that people do when they don't measure up to what you want for yourself? If they don't measure up, do it yourself. That's all. You can also speak to other people about what it is that they're offering and tell your emotions about that. Tell them that you feel, and you're right to take up space, that if you're supporting them, maybe they want your feedback. Maybe they want to know how you feel. So stripping for love is really my motto for 2015. It is part of my greater idea that we are in a revolution that involves love, which I call the Loverution. And you'll see more about that on my website in the coming days. But stripping for love is simply a vulnerability. It's an allowing of yourself to shed some of those layers you've been holding on to for way too long, to begin to take them off and to begin to tell people who you really are, what you really look like, what you really feel. How do you look underneath all of those clothes? What is it that is going on that is causing you to put on all these clothes and wear them all year round, even when it's hot outside and you're sweating and super uncomfortable? You have on way too many clothes. And even when it's cold outside, like right now, even when it's cold outside, sometimes all of those clothes are not necessary. Just a couple of garments that are made well, tailored perfectly, and are definitely weather appropriate. You don't need 17 layers if you have on a wool coat. Okay, so guard yourself only with the ammunition that you need to be a better expression of yourself. And make sure that you're looking around you at every turn to make sure that the things that you're creating, the relationships that you're creating, the invitations you accept and extend, as well as the things that you say out of your mouth, are complete expressions of yourself. So, where do we start with all of this? Just start by recognizing yourself as the amazing human being that you are. You're watching this video because you're looking for something. Not just because I posted it or not just because you're bored. You're actually looking for something. And if you allow any words that any person speaks to you to resonate on the level of either defining what it is you do want or defining what it is you don't quite want, then you allow everybody in the universe to be your teacher, and you allow there to be a very strong sense of identity as it relates to the symbolisms that are following you in your life. The symbolism, the signs, the magic that's happening everywhere you are, the connection that's present everywhere you are. So on the strip for love piece, just tell people what you think. Tell people like, hey, I'm not afraid to lose you by telling you the truth. I'm not afraid that I'll be outcasted if I say how I really feel. Know that you've already resolved whatever the determination is, when you decide to express it. In other words, once I decide to say to somebody what I really feel, it doesn't matter what they're going to do in response, because I made that decision based on the fact that it needed to be said. And so their response is not really relevant. And so to kick off this stripping for love, I'm just going to start, I don't know, stripping for love. I'm just going to start taking off clothes and start letting you guys get a better peek at who I am and how I am. Like maybe you think you know me, and maybe you do, but this is really what my hair looks like when I'm at home and I don't have any makeup on. So here I am. I'm stripping for love, and I hope you'll join me in 2015. And if this sounds a little crazy for you, just try it. Start with yourself and extend it to others along the way. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Stacy Patrice, and this is our Hump Day edition of Tools for the Soul. And I hope to see you again next Wednesday. Thanks a lot. Peace.